A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a pressing inquiry that has drawn significant attention, Sir Alan Bates, a former post office operator and lead campaigner for victims of the Horizon scandal, has revealed that he has yet to receive a response from Labour leader Keir Starmer regarding his urgent request for assistance in settling claims for those affected by the scandal. Speaking to the Commons Business Committee, Bates highlighted the ongoing plight of the claimants, many of whom have been waiting for compensation for over 20 years. Bates represented the interests of the 555 sub-postmasters who took the post office to the High Court between 2017 and 2019 under the Group Litigation Order (GLO) scheme. Tragically, he noted that 70 claimants have died while waiting for their compensation to be resolved. I wrote to Starmer, initially about a month ago, and I said that it needs to be finished by the end of March 2025. A deadline should be set, and we asked for his help in setting this deadline, Bates stated. He expressed frustration at the lack of response from Starmer, stating that he had followed up with another letter reminding the Labour leader of his previous correspondence. With just 5 months remaining until the proposed deadline, Bates lamented, "People have been waiting far too long, over 20-odd years. There's over 70 that have died along the way in the GLO group. There are people well into their 80s now that are still suffering. They shouldn't. They really shouldn't." Bates also discussed the possibility of pursuing fresh legal action to expedite compensation payments, although he acknowledged that this could potentially suspend the current compensation scheme. "Now that might be a choice people are prepared to take," he remarked, underscoring the desperation of those affected. In response to Bates' comments, Downing Street confirmed that Starmer had not yet replied to the letter due to the government's desire to ensure a thorough and accurate response. A spokesperson for the Prime Minister stated, "It was obviously right that we took the time to consider the issues raised in the letter to the Prime Minister, consider our response, make sure it was accurate and substantial, and obviously we engaged with relevant departments to ensure that the Prime Minister's response was as full as possible." The spokesperson added that the government is committed to delivering redress to those affected as swiftly as possible and is actively working to increase the pace of redress across all schemes. However, they emphasized that setting an arbitrary cutoff date could risk excluding some claimants from receiving their due compensation. In other political developments, Kemi Badenoch, the newly appointed Conservative leader, has begun to assemble her shadow cabinet, including naming Chris Philp as Shadow Home Secretary and Alex Burghardt as his deputy. This follows her recent leadership victory, which has been marked by a promise of change within the Conservative Party. Meanwhile, the health sector remains a focal point of debate in Parliament, with Labour's Health Secretary Wes Streeting outlining plans to extend the soft drinks levy and introduce a gradual smoking ban, measures originally proposed by Rishi Sunak. Streeting's remarks were aimed at highlighting the Labour Party's commitment to public health while also targeting the Conservative Party's ideological stance. As the political landscape continues to shift, the issue of compensation for victims of the Horizon scandal remains a critical topic that demands urgent attention. With the clock ticking towards the proposed deadline, the call for action from leaders like Keir Starmer becomes increasingly vital for those who have suffered for far too long. The question now is whether the Labour leader will respond to Bates' urgent pleas and take meaningful steps to address the injustices faced by the victims of this scandal. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.